Alrighty, how you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing well. Back with another video, second video. Got a little bit of a different setup here now. Hopefully this looks better when I upload it. Should actually be horizontal now rather than vertical with the black lines on the side like it was before. Some real beginner shit. Still a beginner anyways, but anyways. Bit of a different topic for today. Still going to be another little sit-down video, but as you can see, I've got a little set of notes here that I want to kind of go over. The sort of topic of this video, I guess, is a relatively general lesson that I have learned within the last few years of my life. Specifically, I would say I mostly learned this from going to the gym. I have also learned this through a couple of other avenues. One of them being when I was in Taekwondo. I was taking Taekwondo for a little bit there, roughly a year, give or take. A few months for ease, for it to be easy to say. We'll say a year. And then I've mostly recently learned this as well with practicing the guitar, which I have been doing for about a year and a half now. And so the lesson is, and I have some specific things that I want to go over, but it specifically pertains to hobbies or learning things that are difficult. And I guess I shouldn't say that all of these things are difficult that I've learned, or I mean, I would say that they are, but I guess what I'm trying to say is that different people may classify different things as more difficult than others. But anyways, the first point is that you want to keep banging your head against the wall. Keep learning. And kind of what this comes down to relatively with that sort of thing is that there's fundamentals in everything. There's fundamentals in the gym. There's fundamentals in Taekwondo. There's fundamentals when it comes to playing guitar. I mentioned in the last video, I believe, that I work in IT. There's fundamentals of IT. And there's fundamentals of everything. And especially when you're starting out, you're gonna suck. It's just that simple. It is just that simple. You are going to suck. And sucking is a good thing. Because given a certain amount of time, you will no longer suck. Right? And so that's kind of where I was going with that sort of quote, I guess you could say. Just keep banging your head against the wall. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep learning. Keep practicing. And just do it repeatedly, over and over and over again. The second point that I would get to here is kind of a difficult one, and I would say that it's a pill to swallow sometimes. Now, I'll just lead with it. You're not always going to love it, whether it's the hobby or the thing or the field or whatever you're doing. You're not always going to love it, and you're not going to love every part of it. In fact, I can almost guarantee there will be things that you don't like about said thing. And I can definitely think of this in regards to a few different things. Um, you may not like the cardio part of the gym. I don't. I'm not a huge cardio guy. I don't like running specifically. Um, Now, what I will say in regards to that specifically is there's other ways to do said things, right? There's other avenues specifically with the gym. There's other types of cardio. You can go swimming. I'm looking at our apartment swimming pool right behind me, or behind you, I should say. That's a form of cardio. But the bottom line is that there will be parts that you don't like. There will be things about a specific hobby or journey that you're going on that you're not going to like. You're just not going to like it. And the thing to remember is that, and especially if this is a fundamental of said thing, we're shaking a little bit here. There's a little bit of wind coming in. It's not on the most stable surface. Hopefully it dies down. But there's not going to be every little thing that you love about this thing. And I really learned this kind of with the third part, which is you're not always going to be motivated. You won't. You will not always be motivated to do the thing. And you see this a lot, right, with going to the gym and exercising. People don't want to exercise. They don't want to get their body moving. And the thing with that is that with most of the days that you don't like or don't feel motivated to do whatever said thing it is, I can almost guarantee you, especially if you've just simply been interested in the thing, right? Again, I keep going back to the gym for me because that was the first time I learned this lesson. When I go to the gym on a day that I didn't feel like going, and I still go in and I still give it a good chunk of effort, there's not been one time that I leave the gym and I don't mentally thank myself for going still, right? There's not one time that I've done that and I wasn't thanking myself for going. So I think that's probably between the first one and that one, those are the two biggest things that I have for this video is keep learning, keep banging your head against that wall. It is going to suck sometimes. And it's not always going to be fun. A lot of things are glorified because of obviously with social media that plays into it, but you're only seeing people after they've gone through each rung of the ladder. You're not seeing it when they were at day 1. You're not even seeing them when they're at day 100. I'd even argue you're probably not even seeing them at day 1,000. You're just not. And the reason for that is because through those first 1,000 days, they sucked. They weren't good at said thing. And I'm not saying I'm good at these things that I'm mentioning in this video. I'm still well within my journey of all of them. The gym, I'm probably the furthest on because, well, recently I lost 40 pounds. Right. So that one I would say I've progressed the most in. And I've also been doing that sort of thing for a while. I have taken breaks and let myself go and things like that, but that's a whole different story. Um, but yeah, between that and the you're not always going to feel motivated, I would say those are the two biggest lessons that I have learned within these last uh, few years. We'll say 5 years, somewhere in there. You're not always going to love it. You're not always going to be motivated. And the good thing about, honestly, about not being motivated is that it's where you get to practice your discipline. You know, I don't really want to do this today. It doesn't feel good. I'm not excited for it. But you do it anyways. And like I said, there's not one time that I've been to the gym, and I bet you a lot of people can say this. I've seen it in a lot of videos that I've watched. I would even argue with you honestly that a majority of the time that I have set aside time for me to go to the gym, majority of those, I didn't want to go. I didn't feel like going. I wanted to stay home, be lazy, whatever. Screw around, do something else. Literally anything else. Something easier, something distracting. So, that's what I really have for this video. I'm going to try and keep these things a bit shorter and more concise and to the point. That's why I wrote this down here. Hopefully this is a good way for me to keep doing this in the future and stay more on track. So, yeah, that's kind of what I have. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I'm happy to be uploading this second video. Hopefully it does as well as the first one. If you made it this far in the video, give me a like or a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what can I do to improve these videos. I'm still learning. I've not done these sort of things, so just let me know. Let me know what your thoughts are about anything related to the channel, the topic, whatever. So that's what I'll leave it off with. Thank you.